Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Our Life Beginnings and Always. Yesterday we left off, we did the birthday moment. I made a little mistake. I thought that I already did the mall DLC moment, but apparently I didn't. It's just been one of those weeks I kind of been off a little bit. And so I'm going to make up for today and do the mall for this, do the mall DLC. So, get this keyboard over here. Alright, there we go. Lee's visit today turned out to be more involved than you expected. After overhearing where the Holden family was going, Lee insisted on seeing Mr. Holden's shop firsthand. So we're at a place where they sell like diving stuff and yeah, looks like that. Stuff for going to the beach for diving and whatever. And an hour later, and Lee was busy looking at every item on display because Cove's dad offered supplies, lessons, and tours. His shop had all the scuba related stuff you could imagine: fins, masks, suits, and snorkels. After circling around the shop, he finally stopped and looked at the whole room. Let's see. I'm gonna go with the first one. This was the first time you'd been here, too. The mystery was finally gone. Over the years, you'd heard bits and pieces about what Cove's dad did from Cove, Derek and Mr. Holden, and now here you were, standing smack dab in the middle of it. Okay. Trying to figure out what should I pick here. I'm gonna go with the second one. You were in good spirits. This was a pleasant surprise. Something always came up whenever you might have had a chance to visit the shop before. You were happy Lee insisted on Mr. Holden bringing you both along today. Lee was still busy poking through the various wetsuits displayed, so you decided to see what Derek and Cove were doing. They were too absorbed in their conversation to notice you standing near them. Leaning against the counter, you were able to pick up the topic quickly.
Anyway,
My dad told me the new stuff is selling like crazy, says Derek. Yeah, the material has new blend with less neophrin. My dad says people are really interested in it, says Cove. It brought a smile to your face, hearing that the shop was doing well. I wonder if I would do this, what would happen? I'm gonna save it first, in case I want to go back, and I'm gonna do this. You couldn't resist teasing the boys. I think I figured out Mr. Holden and Mr. Sora's secret to running this place. Cove crossed his arms and looked at you with an eyebrow raised, while Derek gave you a generally confused look. You motioned with your hand for them to lean in close. Clearly, they realized they could sell anything with all the handsome faces in this place. Cole's face immediately went red over the suggestion. He looked away, shaking his head. Derek took it in stride. Alright, I'm gonna go back. Pick something else. You decided to keep listening. It was interesting just to watch them speak about what they knew. But really, there's just so much to think about with a business. It's crazy. No matter how much I come, I still don't think I get it, says Derek. Cove hummed and nodded in agreement, causing a good hurried laugh from Derek. I thought you only liked the scuba diving part, not the job part, says Derek. That's just the best part. I think about other things too, says Cove.
I gotcha.
Cool. The business side, running it, that's my favorite, says Derek. Out of the corner of your eye, you caught movement, and you realized that Lee was now standing next to you. When your dad's retired, do you guys think you're gonna carry on the store? Asked Lee. Both sons shrugged in unison.
Well,
There's tons of things I could do. My dad thinks so too. He doesn't want me to plan on working here forever. Cole's gaze fell to the floor. You could see the conflict flashing across his face.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a lot being the real boss of something and totally in charge, says Cove. Let's see. I'm gonna pick the third thing here. I wouldn't want to take over someone else's shop either. I want to do my own thing. I want to decide what I do myself, not just follow behind what my parents ended up picking. Totally, says Derek. Cole's parents left the back office and came over, catching your attention. Sorry, kids. It looks like it's gonna be a long one. I know usually others hold the fort down, but I really need to stay here today, says Cole's dad. I know you wanted a little visit. It'd be boring getting stuck all day because of me. Kara can take my car and go back to the neighborhood, says Cove's dad. Cove and Derek gave him an understanding look. Mr. Holden crossed his arms and flashed you a big smile, trying to lift the mood. The one condition is that someone has to remember to come back for me later. You don't get to strand me here. No matter how funny that might be, says Cole's dad. Kara laughed and gave a thumbs up. Mr. Holmes seemed satisfied with that. He moved on with the explanation. Derek, your dad also has his hands full today, so he doesn't have time to run you back home, says Cole's dad.
It's okay.
That's alright, sir, says Derek. The title Sir got an awkward chuckle out of Cliff, which was cut short when Kara elbowed him teasingly.
What do you think?
You already said I could borrow your car. Why don't I take all the kids somewhere fun for the afternoon? Asked Kara.
Absolutely.
That's fine with me. Just please come back eventually, sometime today, Kara, says Cole's dad. After multiple jokes about being left with no ride, you had to wonder if that actually happened in their past together. For you, my good sir, I swear, cross my heart, says Kara. Happy with the promise, Cliff took out his black wallet and offered a $50 bill to Kara. Here, in case you need gas or anything else while you're out, says Cove's dad. Kara smiled knowingly and accepted the bill without hesitation.
Thank you.
Says Kara. Cove's dad stuck the wallet into his back pocket while he waved with the free hand. Okay, time for me to jump back into work. Have fun for me. Bye, Dad, says Cove. Bye. Bye, sir, says Derek.
Bye.
Bye, Mr. Holden, says Lee. Goodbye, sirs and madams, says Cove's dad. He left the room with a wink and flare, disappearing into the employees only area of the shop. When Mr. Holden was out of sight, Kara silently strolled over to the counter and carefully placed the $50 bill there. She turned back around and beamed a large smile at you and the others. Come on, gang. Let's see if the town has a mall, says Kara.
Yeah!
Says Lee. Unable to contain her excitement, Lee actually jumped with joy, while Cove and Derek just grinned. There wasn't a mall in your hometown, but Mr. Holden's store wasn't in Sunset Bird. It might be possible to find a mall out here. I'm gonna go with the first one. You felt pumped. Heck yeah. Let's go, says Kara. She quickly herded the group out of the store and to the car.
Cove.
As the driver, I get to choose my partner in crime. Naturally, I bestow the position of shotgun to my baby, says Kara. Her comment had both Derek and Lee snickering. Cove was for sure embarrassed over the phrasing and blatant favoritism, but he took the seat by his mom without complaint. You decided to stick up for Cove. Cove's not a baby. He can decide wherever he wants to sit. Cove ran a hand nervously through his hair. He was in disbelief that you'd disagree with his parent like that.
My baby.
Chippy, you're right. Cove's not a baby, but he will always be my baby. A precious baby boy. Kara. Kara turned to Cove, Her expression lit up just by looking at him, and he became even more awkward. I couldn't think of anyone better I'd want sitting shotgun with me. But if he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to. I'll love him no matter what, says Carter.
That's,
I'm already here. I'll just stay, says Cove. He still looked like he wanted to crawl out of his own skin. Unfortunately, your attempt to help backfired. Moms could be tricky like that way. I'll take the middle seat, says Derek. Really, says Ashley.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want a window seat. You two can have them, says Derek. Are you cool with that? Asks Carter. You thought it was odd that anyone would give up a window seat, but you knew Derek tried to be especially polite when he was a guest. You nodded.
Fantastic.
Good, sounds like we're all in agreement, says Carter. Everyone squeezed into the car, buckling in, and Carter turned the radio on. She set up a top 40 pop station. You were into it. You did not like it. Okay. I'm gonna pick the third one. You asked if the radio station could be changed.
Of course.
That I can do. What kind of music are you thinking? Asked Carter. Alternative. Yeah, says Derek. Okay, says Cove. Lee nodded.
Noted.
No problem, Chippy. I got you, says Kara. Kara set the radio to the station best suited to what you requested. With that set, the trip to the mall continued. It wasn't long until your group realized that they were lost. But after driving in enough circles, Kara struggle paid off when she found a local mall. There were more cheers from Lee as Kara pulled into a parking spot. Once your group had made it inside, the first order of business on this trip was checking out what this mall actually had. Where should we go? I asked. I think I see a makeup store up ahead, says Lee. She rolled up her tippy toes to get a better view. Meanwhile, Derek was eyeing the directory. There's a chocolate shop. Seriously, we have to go there, says Derek. Yes, wait. And we need to find a decent jewelry shop. I need new hair ties and braids, says Lee.
Nice!
We've also gotta at least look for a game store. There's tons of things you can't get anywhere, but a store that's just for video games, says Derek. You know, at GameStop. Hey, what are you thinking? Cove, Kara asked. I want to look at the fish in the pet store, says Cove. You could have guessed that much. Anywhere else? I asked. He smiled with some bashfulness. Can we go to a camping and outdoor supplies shop? Asked Cove.
So,
What about you, Chippy? Cove asked. Video game store. Chocolate shop. An art and supplies store. Food court. Because we might get hungry while we're here. Music shop. And that was all you're interested in. And that's all that really interested you, yeah. That's certainly a list. Good thing we have all afternoon, says Kara. Yeah, says Lee. I have my own stops. I want to make... Let's agree to round up here at 7 p.m., says Kara.
What?
You're not coming with us, says Derek. Asked Derek. We're all in the same building. You won't be as alone as you think. I'll be a few minutes away at most. You're old enough to enjoy the mall without me hovering, says Kara. Okay, says Cove.
See you soon.
Be back here at 7 p.m. Toodaloo, says Kara. Leaving Derek and Lee stunned by their newfound freedom, Kara walked off. When she was almost out of sight, Derek's face twisted in confusion. Wow, she's really gone. I can't believe she did that, says Derek. This is so cool. We get to do whatever we want, says Lee. I'm gonna go with the first one. You were happy about it. Talk about amazing opportunity. It really is exciting, I says. With the decision already made, Derek tried to pull together his earlier enthusiasm for the trip.
So,
Where are we going first? Time's a wasting, says Derek. Wherever's closest, says Clove. things are coming together, but you realize there might be a flaw in today's sudden plans. What's wrong, Chippy? Says Derek. Did everybody bring money with them? I asked.
Yeah!
Says Lee.
Yeah.
I did, says Cove. Always have some with me when I come all the way out here, says Derek. I'm gonna go with the first one too. You had money too. Immediately you felt better about the situation. It would have been a downer to not be able to even think about something at the mall. Because they didn't have money. I'm good, I explained. Now that everything was squared away, you explored the mall together as a group. There were many shops that you managed to venture into so far. Y'all even went into a video game store, leaving you with pep in your step. This was better than you thought, and there was still so much to see. After having hit many of the top priority stores, you found yourself passing by a small booth. It was decorated in wind chimes of various sizes. You raised a hand up to one of the smaller ones. What sparkled your attention next was Cove. You thought for sure he was going to stop at the booth by the way he looked at it, but he kept going. Do you want one? Asked Lee. It wasn't until Lee asked that you realized what you had stopped in front of the booth without saying anything. Lee just continued to encourage you. You should get one, says Lee. I'm gonna go with the third one. You want one, but for someone else. They had caught your attention, though it was because it might make a nice gift. You wondered if Lee was planning on becoming a wind chime salesperson, since she kept pushing it. I have one like this at home, and it makes the pleasantest sound, says Lee. Fishing your money out, you made a decision on what to buy. I'm gonna go with the first one. You got one for yourself and one for Cove. Can I get these two, please? I ask. Now, why would you need two wind chimes? Asked Lee. You rolled her eyes at her teasing tone, but you couldn't hide the smile growing on your own face as Lee broke out into laughter. The shopkeeper carefully wrapped your purchase up and handed it back to you in a bag. You accepted and then raced off with Lee to catch up to the boys. For Cove, you had picked out a beautiful wind chime that had a dolphin charm. You had a feeling he'd appreciate that. After leaving the clothing store, one that Lee couldn't resist exploring, you and your friends found yourself walking down the main hall of the mall again. It wasn't long until everyone had their eye on some smoothie kiosk ahead. Should we stop? Asked Derek. Yeah, says Cove. As you approached, your eye was drawn to the dizzying list of smoothie combinations. A part of you wondered how long it would take to try them all. Hi there. Do you need the rundown of how this works? Asked the shopkeeper. Yes, please, says Lee. Okay, first off, you pick up to 3 options of fruit or berries. Then I'll add the ice and the store's special smoothie base mix. And then you'll have your very own smoothie for $4. There's only one size. Cove leaned over the counter a bit. For several moments, he intently studied the plentiful fruit and berry options. I want to get a strawberry banana smoothie with coconut too, says Cove. Sounds good. Is anyone else getting something? Asked the shopkeeper. Can I get one that's just all mango? Asked Derek. Of course, says the shopkeeper.
Thanks!
I like strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries for mine. Thanks, says Lee. The shopkeeper looked at you now. And of course I wanted one. Could I get... Let's see... banana, peach, and strawberry, yeah. And that's everything. At that, everyone went ahead and paid for their individual drinks. You waited over the other side of the booth where the drinks were put. When they were done, Derek bounced on his feet, excited for his to be ready.
Aw.
This is going to be good, says Derek. Lee chimed in with her own enthusiasm. Everybody says their smoothie base stuff can make any drink great, says Lee. Cove, while quieter, looked at as just as eager for his smoothie. Luckily, there hadn't been anyone else before you, so it wasn't a long wait. Your group collected the fresh drinks as they were placed on the counter. Straws were placed through the opening at the top of the cup, and the first tentative sips were had. Derek sighed in satisfaction after his taste. Mango is too delicious, says Derek. Mine is super good too, says Lee. Cove nodded and hummed in agreement. His straw was still in his mouth. Excuse me. I'm gonna go with the first one. You were really happy with yours. This is perfect. Cool. We all made excellent choices today, says Lee. Yeah, says Derek. I'm gonna go with the third one. You asked if you could try Cole's smoothie. Cole, could I have a drink of yours? At that, Cove accidentally inhaled as he was drinking. His face was burning red from embarrassment and from the coughing that shook him. Dude, are you okay? Asked Derek. Derek gave Cove a few pats on the back. His hacking was only starting to slow. I bet it ended up going the wrong way. It sucks when that happens, says Derek. Lee elbowed you teasingly. The moment she got your attention, she started laughing and gesturing between you and Cove. Moments later, Cove was finally able to breathe normally. He wiped his mouth with his free hand. His gaze locked to the floor as he nervously started chewing on his straw. You could tell he was torn. He didn't seem to want to say no, but he couldn't bring himself to say yes either. Derek couldn't watch this scene anymore. Drinking his own smoothie, he pretended to be fascinated by the displays in the stores. Your group was passing by. Lee hadn't stopped looking over you too. You could tell she was living for every bit of this situation. Cole's unhappy stare went from Lee to Derek, all the while still shyly sipping his smoothie. You wonder if he was trying to will them to intervene. Feeling his stare, Derek peeked back towards Cove. The only response he offered was an understanding sigh. I'm gonna go with the third one. You reassured him. You don't have to stress over it. I don't want it to be a big deal. With a defeated sigh, Cove essentially moved the hand holding his drink toward you. He invited you to proceed with his eyes. Leaning in, you took a sip. It was especially sweet combination. Thanks. He nodded and brought his smoothie back closer to his body, but he didn't start drinking again.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, says Cove. Okay. Gonna go with the first one. You were satisfied with that. As your group continued to wander the mall, you came to an area in the path that was wider. In the center of the opening was a collection of quarter-operated ride-on machines. Derek stopped as soon as he saw them, smiling ear to ear. I want to ride, says Derek. I think we might be too big, says Cove.
No way!
We're not that old yet, says Derek. He eagerly headed over to the machines, wanting to get a better look. Lee went along with it, smiling. He thought his idea was childish. Those are definitely for little kids. For little kids. Whoops. I passed something. Nope. Okay. You crossed your arms and gave Derek a skeptical look. You figured that even if you could fit on it, that the entire experience would be embarrassing. Oh, come on. Have some fun, says Derek. Reconvening around Derek, you watched as he was focused on the various brightly colored rides. Most were designed to look like real vehicles, but there were also some horse-shaped ones. One of them could even sit 2 people. Lee leaned in close to you and whispered playfully, while pointing directly at the sole machine made for a pair. You should ride that one. with Cove, says Lee. You agreed she was really on to something there. That might be fun. I called the helicopter, says Derek. Why? Asks Cole.
Cool.
It's the coolest, and I think it'll move the most, says Derek. He started digging in his pocket, pulling out whatever money he had left. Wait. Excuse me. Stop there. Is everything okay? Asked Lee. I need 4 quarters, right? Asked Derek. Yeah, says Cove. Only have 2, says Derek. There has to be more between all of us. Hold on, says Lee. Pockets, wallets, and purses were checked over. Derek still had 2. Cove had only 1. Lee ended up with the most out of 3. He didn't have any.
Don't worry about it.
You can have mine, says Cove. Thanks, but you don't have to. It's not enough for me. And even if it was, it'd be done to ride while you had to watch, says Derek. Cove shrugged. He had tried, failed, and looked unsure of what to do next. Why don't we all get on one ride?
Yeah!
Says Lee. Could that work? Asked Derek. Cove shook his head. It'd be fine. I got it figured out, says Lee. Lee walked up to the car and studied it for a moment. She went all the way around it before she headed back to your group with a big smile. Okay, Derek and Cole get in the car. You'll use the real seats, says Lee. They both stared at her, unsure. Ultimately, they did what she said. Anyways, they fit Albert. Damn. Can't even pronounce that word. Whatever, very awkwardly. That was mostly Cove Longlay's fault. Chippy, we can climb up on the back part of the car. We'll be right behind the seats. It'll work, says Lee. This had been your suggestion originally, so you went along with the agreement. Once you and Lee got yourselves Situated, everyone passed their quarter combinations to Derek. He leaned forward and slipped the quarters in the machine slot. Jerkily it moved. There was a chorus of nervous chuckles and giggles as everyone lurched backwards. Lee bent more forward so she could have a hand on the back of the boys' seats to keep sturdy. You quickly regretted your decision. As much as you wanted to enjoy the ride, you couldn't. You just couldn't. You needed it to be over now. We're gonna break it, says Derek. Don't jinx it, says Lenny.
Aww.
I want to get off, says Cove. Cove looked uncomfortable with the whole experience. Both hands gripped his side of the car. We'll live, says Lee. Yeah, says Cove. You shot him a look of neutral helplessness at the situation you ended up in. Cove didn't say anything more. He held the edge of the car tighter as it went up and down, side to side. It wasn't long before Derek's fear of breaking the car was pushed aside. A large smile replaced the concern that had been on his face. Ooh, look at us, says Derek. Yay, says Lee. With every buckle of the machine, he kept nearly falling over and bumping into Lee, who laughed every time. You all did the best you could to keep together during the remainder of the ride, and luckily the car came to an end without breaking. Then you noticed something out of the corner of your eye. You tilted your head to look directly at it, and you burst into laughter. What's funny, says Cove. You turned back to your group and nodded in the direction of where you were looking. Isn't that one of those machines that makes dollars, that takes dollars and gives quarters back? The kind that exists for people who don't have quarters on hand, I asked. Everyone's heads moved that way and saw that you were right. Derek chuckled awkwardly. That's exactly what that is, says Derek.
Oh.
We're kind of dumb, says Cove. We have to be to miss that this whole time, says Lee. Come on, let's just put this behind us. There's still places open. We haven't been everywhere yet, says Derek.
Totally.
Here, says Lee. You move along from one stop towards your next. Still jovial from the experience. Shortly into your walk, Lee ran over to a nearby trash can and tossed her smoothie cup. Derek went after her and threw his cup away. You followed suit and got rid of your empty cup too. Cole went up to the trash can last and threw out his very full cup. So much of his drink was left that you couldn't help but wonder if he ever continued drinking it after your stunt. He had been focused on sipping originally. It had to be that he was too uncomfortable to use the straw after you had. You felt bad. All that smoothie went to waste, and Cole barely got to enjoy his drink before you pushed to try it. Cole must have felt your eyes on him because he met your gaze. You weren't sure if he could tell what you were thinking. Instead of calling him out about the drink, you kept it to yourself. You knew Cove well enough to guess it'd just be make things worse. Cole smiled at you before turning back to listen to whatever Derek was trying to tell him. You resolved not to focus on the smoothie incident. Ow. The clock inched closer to 7 p.m. as you all made your way back to the directory. It was hard to believe how fast the day went by.
So,
Where do you think your mom ended up today? We didn't see her anywhere, says Derek. I don't know. She's just like that, says Cove. Oh, it's a mystery, says Lee. Despite having vanished for the entire trip so far, when 7 p.m. hit, you spotted Kara coming right over, waving cheerily. As soon as she was close enough, she pinched Cove's cheek.
Hey ya.
hey ya.
Hey, baby and friends, says Kara. Hi, Mom, says Cove. He pushed her hand back with one hand and rubbed his cheek with the other. Do you have to be a good... Did you have a good day, gang? Asked Kara. Yeah, says Lee. Today was awesome. We did so much, says Derek.
Not bad.
Not bad.
It was fun, says Cove. You really enjoyed your day. There was no hiding your joy. Like the others, you were smiling ear to ear because today went so much better than you expected. I'm glad we came here.
That I do.
I want to hear all about it during the ride back, says Kara. She clapped her hands together once, making sure she had everyone's undivided attention. Speaking of that, we better head out. Cliff must be missing us. And you've gotta be starving. It's dinner time and you haven't eaten yet, says Kara. Yeah, says Cove. Everyone followed her lead and started walking out the door to the parking lot. Something about what Kara said felt off to you. There were tons of places to eat. It's a mall. You could have had dinner. You wonder if it was just a good guess, but you could feel your eyebrows raise when it dawned on you. She might have been keeping an eye on you after all. I'm gonna go with the first one. You weren't pleased about that. She didn't have to lie. None of you had a problem with her staying with you today. You were expecting it. You felt uncomfortable by her unnecessary deception. Shaking off those thoughts, you caught up with the others. Keeping the same seating arrangement as earlier, you all piled into the car and started heading back to the store. The drive went by without any problems as it was filled with chatter about the various things everyone saw around the mall. Soon enough, you arrived at your destination. It was a much faster trip, considering this time Kara knew where she was going. Hearing the light jingle of bells from the front door being opened, Cliff poked his head out from the back. He lit up, seeing who was here. Hey Sport, did everyone have an adventure? Asked Cove's dad. Hi Dad, says Cove. We had a blast, says Derek. Yes, says Lee. We found the mall, says Kara.
Aww.
Mall? I wish I could have joined, says Cove's dad. He deflated in exaggerated way. His shoulders slumped. Kara put a hand on his arm and smiled.
Anywhoosies.
There'll be other times. Are you set here? Asked Kara. Almost, says Cove's dad. Mr. Holden sighed for a real. He then pulled himself together, standing up straight.
Do you mind?
I need just a little more time to finish up. Will you be alright killing time for a bit longer? Asked Cove's dad. It's okay, says Cove. Yes, sir, says Derek. No problem, Mr. Holden.
Sure.
We can have fun here, says Lee. Excellent. What a great group of kids, says Cove's dad. He gave you an approving thumbs up, and Kara nodded along. I'll give you a hand, and remember the ropes, says Kara. Why, thank you, says Cove's dad. They walked side by side to the back room before he was out of sight. Cliff stopped and looked over his shoulder. You leave the shop. Don't go far. It's getting late. And then the parents were gone again. Let's go to the docks. They're right down the way, says Cove. Yeah, says Derek. Oh, I saw those on the way here and really wanted to check it out. Are you coming, Chippy? Says Lee. Asks Lee. Alright. With a smile, Cove showed the way. Between the warm summer air and the smell of the ocean, you couldn't ask for a better night.
Thanks!
Thanks for letting me come, says Lee. Me too.
Right?
Right? I'm happy we did this today. Today was great, says Derek. Cove, your mom and dad are really cool, says Lee. Really? Asks Cove. Totally, says Lee. Cove looked at Lee oddly. He ran a hand through his hair, and then his puzzled expression cracked with a chuckle.
I guess.
I guess sometimes they are, says Cove. You continued walking every so often as you would look up at the sky and see several stars poking out between the clouds. At one point you noticed that Cove stopped while Lee and Derek kept going on ahead, busily chatting. Intelligently, you wondered if someone was wrong, but you quietly noticed that he still looked to be in good spirits. You decided to hang back with Cove. He gave you a quick acknowledging look when you stopped at his side. You could taste the sea salt as you took up a deep breath of the ocean air. Silently, you and Cove watched the ocean for a little while. There was something about the waves that you always found smoothing. You couldn't think of a better way to end a busy day. And then it hit you, the wind chime. This was a perfect moment. Quickly you dug the wrapped package out of your bag. Hey Cove. Asked Cove. He barely replied. Instead, his focus was mostly on lazily watching the sea. The paper wrapped crinkled as you pushed the package forward, trying to make him realize finally caught your sight of it as his elbows raised up high. Generally, Cove accepted the gift. Just seeing the present brought a smile to Cove's face. He carefully opened it, and his whole body brightened as he recognized the chime.
Oh my god!
Says Cove. I'm gonna go with the second one, I think. Wait a minute. I'm gonna go with the second one. You suggested that the chime simply made you think of him. I thought it suited you, so I got it. Really? Asked Cove. Cove's smile seemed to grow even bigger, and his blush deepened. He looked sincerely happy. You're just... He wasn't able to find the words to finish his thought. Then Cove started getting shy over his bashfulness and put a hand over his mouth. You were so happy that buying the wind chime was the right call. I'll take so good care of it, Chippy. Thank you, says Cove. You're welcome. Let me know where you end up putting it. It'd be helpful to know. You took your wrapped up wind chime out of your bag and held it, drawing a chuckle from him. Okay. We'll match that way. Yeah. Not much time later, Derek's chipper voice caught your attention. You and Cove both turned your gaze down the pier. What are you doing there, slowpokes? Get over here, says Derek.
Hey! Hey!
Hey, come on, says Lee. You looked at Cove at the same time he looked at you. You grinned and nodded your head in the direction of your friends. He gave you a small smile in return. Your footsteps echoed against the wind planks of the dock and into the night as you ran to catch up. And that's the end of it. Our next moment will be summer work. So save it. Right there. So thanks for watching again on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to click the like button and click the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to check out my Patreon. I'd really appreciate it if you can become a Patreon contributor on my Patreon. Again, all the money that I receive from the Patreon will go directly to a worthy charity. I don't see a dime or a penny of it. It will go directly to charity. Also, I'm running a special now until April. If you become a VIP contributor, a $25 VIP contributor, you will get a sticker or a button pin that has a picture of me in my fursuit, and it'll have on there saying thank you for becoming a VIP contributor. So with that, I thank you for watching and see you guys there.